Hello everybody, welcome back to eRacing GP Global Edition Season 8. I go away for 2 rounds, they change the music, they change the titles. Can't trust these fellas whatsoever. Alex Young alongside Des Corkill for the final round of the bronze edition of this season. We've got to mention very quickly though, Alex, the copper class that we've just seen. What a finale. We still don't know the championship because there could well be protests.
Yes, I mean there was a bit of argy-bargy in the copper class, so we have to check what the protest's done. But I think we saw different championship leaders. I think it switched around like 10 times, 8 times maybe in that race. Drivers going from the front to the back and then back up to the front again. But we think at the moment at least that Keith Moe is our new copper class champion.
We will confirm that later. Let's get on to though this edition. This is the bronze edition, and let's have a look at the standings as we come into the final 4th round of the season. Mohammed Zikri leading the way with 58 points, but there are 49 points up for grabs today. So you look right the way down, even down to Chester Lamb. Possibly too much for Edward Wong, but down to P6. I think every one of those guys has got an outside chance at least of making the title.
You are so right there. It looks so close there. This is going to be a great race today.
Mohammed Zikri, though, is the man who is leading it. As to the team standings, Stratos Motorsports, they are running away with things. 371 points over Your Academy on 219. FSA Racing 191. It's great to get the teams involved, though. We need the teams as well as the individual racers to make a success of eRGP or continue the success of eRGP.
And there we have Malaysia running away with it at the front, Des. So I think they're going to be very hard to beat. Singapore in 2nd, Philippines 3rd, Hong Kong in 4th, and Australia in 5.
How though, isn't it great though to see Germany and Great Britain getting the Europeans involved in eRGP? It's exactly what you were chasing when we started this in March of 2020. Right, let's get on to the edition that we're on about now. We mentioned Mohammed Zikri, and there he is in the graphic just below us. And Zikri leading, but by only 8 points. Now, in the Copper edition, we saw a lot of panicking races, it seemed. A lot of errors, a lot of mistakes, a lot of crashes. Zikri's a little bit more experienced, as are all of the guys in this bronze edition.
Yeah, so the bronze edition, they are really quick, but having said that, we have seen Zikri made a couple of mistakes in the last 2 rounds. So is Yang Ming Chu. Yang Ming, who's 2nd in the championship, he's made a few mistakes as well. So they have had opportunities to try and really get that championship lead with a bit of a gap, but because of the mistakes in bronze class, a bit like copper class, you mentioned that maybe they're getting a bit nervous because they're getting the business end of the championship. It's happening in bronze class as well. So I can't call this. This could go anyway. Like you said, top 6 have a chance.
From your experience, though, as a real racer, what advice would you hand over to the drivers to actually settle that beating heart?
Yeah, okay, so that is the tough thing. The more races you do, the better you are in clutch positions, in bits that are where everything matters. Because, you know, you're coming into the corner and you know this one mistake in this one corner costs you the championship, and you've done hours and hours and hours, tens of hours preparing for it, and maybe hundreds of hours for the whole championship. So it's very easy to have a yip moment. You have to do a lot of mental preparation. If you just don't have the practice, the mental preparation where you sit still and quiet and you imagine the scenarios and you imagine what you're going to do. So you need to have strategies. You need to have strategies when things go well. You need to have strategies when things don't go well. And you need to think about those moments before you actually get into the race. And you know, Senna was a big fan of this. You know, he talked a lot about meditation and stuff. All these sort of little bits and pieces. It's not a one fit for all, but all these pieces, you need to find out what works best for you.
Excellent stuff. We are going around Hockenheim circuit. Let's just have a look at Hockenheim. I love the parabolic curve, that sweeping left. There's overtaking opportunities there, but then you come into the Mercedes section of the stadium. It's a cracking circuit, Hockenheim.
Absolutely, clockwise, 16 corners. 4.5 kilometers long. You know, yes, turn 2, turn 6, turn 8, Mercedes, you just mentioned. That's where all the overtakings will happen. We can actually go for a hot lap. We got Ayman Hakim right now in the DTM from one of the previous global editions, taking us around.
As you can see here, it's a hot lap mode, time attack mode there. Starting on the 3rd sector, last 2 corners here, you want to bring as much speed as possible down into the start-finish straight here. You want to place your car far right to the left here to get into the first turn here. Get it right, get all the speed, get it wrong, you will lose all the speed here. As we can see here, get it a little bit of wrong there. losing a little bit of time into the second corner here. You want to spot your braking a little bit early here. Clip the apex and get a little bit sliding here. That's not what you want. You want to get a good exit here, because this is where the make or break of your race here. It's a long left parabolica. This is where you want to plan your overtake, plan your move, plan your dinner, plan where you want to go after the race. But do not forget, there's a braking zone into this hairpin here. You don't want to miss it and go back to the forest behind there. It's not ideal. It's not ideal where you want to go. As we exit the hairpin there, nice and smooth on the throttle here. Into the right-hand king here, into the Mercedes arena here, Mercedes curve. We're driving a Mercedes. Hopefully you can hear a little bit of crowd here into the weekend here. As you can see here, second gear, third gear, a little bit of lift off to the right-hand corner here. You want to eliminate the understeer. As we can see here, fourth gear, fifth gear, down into the closing to the stadium section here. You want to clip inside as much as possible here. Fourth gear, third gear, down to second here. This is where Sebastian Vettel lost his lead in the 2018 German Grand Prix here. We don't want to do that as well. As we can see here, down into the double last two corners here. There's a drag strip around this left hand side there if you want to know. And yeah, here we go. That's the lap of me in Hockenheimring.
Very good stuff as well. I'm Hakeem Tadashi. He's not racing today. We miss his competitiveness. We miss his emotions, and the emotions on the last round of the season are really something to behold. Kelvin Power on board with now. Now Kelvin is one of those with an outside opportunity, 15 points off the lead, but you never know. If Zikri has a bad race, if Yang has a bad race, Kelvin, if he doesn't do that, he may well have an opportunity to actually get himself up the leaderboard and put pressure on the guys going into race number 2.
Yeah, and that's the other thing drivers have to do. They have to focus on what they're doing. You know, they can't focus on what everyone else is doing, especially right now in bronze. You've got 6 drivers capable of winning. You just need to think, all right, I want to get pole position. All right, I want to win from the front, and I need to pull away and not make mistakes. And don't forget, we have success ballast. So Kelvin is 5th in the championship right now. His success ballast, I think, is 6 kilos. Whereas Zikri has, I think, 15 kilos. Yang Ming Chu has 12. You know, that will play into it as well.
As for Kelvin Powell, he's been racing for quite a while. Should he be getting beyond the bronze category? Should we be looking at him to be maybe competing properly in the silver and even possibly getting up to gold?
I think, you know, Kelvin's improved a lot, but I think he needs one more season in bronze. Drivers like Zikri and Yang Ming, I actually think they're ready for silver now. Let's see what happens to them. But Kelvin doesn't quite have the consistency pace-wise as some of the others in this field. There
is Mohammed Zikri, who in practice he's posting the fastest time, 100th quicker than his previous time. You're watching the eRGP. This is the second of 3 races we've got for you. Well, 4 races in theory, because gold and silver are combined. Gold, we've got neck and neck up at the top of the table. That's going to be exciting. Copper, we had neck and neck, and we still can't tell you who the champion is. This one, well, the race is the competition is there for Zikri to lose. It's all about him making sure that he doesn't make the mistakes.
Yeah, but he's going to be under big pressure, you know, because, like I said, we talked about the success balance. 15 kilos does make a big difference with these cars. So he has to keep it clean. He has to be careful. Someone dives on the inside of him, he needs to be patient and go, right, I'm going to wait and give him space. I lose a position, doesn't matter. Just stay there, stay there. The worst thing to do is try and defend too much, get hit, and get spun around like he did in the last round in where were we? Portimao.
Yes.
Then his championship could disappear like that.
Wondering who was chuntering away to there. He's just sitting calmly in the pits, possibly now just waiting for qualification, which is just 40 seconds away. 6-minute qualification as usual. You want to, as usual, get a quick lap in first, give yourself a chance to maybe improve it second time round.
Yeah, that's the point. The tires last quite well with these cars, so I think you might see some of them do 2 or 3 laps on the set of tires before coming in to change tires again. Oof, Clint Olive there. He's quickest at the moment, though. Where's he come from?
Indeed, because Clint it never really gets anywhere. He had a P6 in race number 2 of the season, but he's not often up at the top of the leaderboard, Clint Olive, so that'd be interesting. There could well be some wild cards coming in and causing a problem or two. And there's 22 drivers out on the track, Alex. That can complicate matters as well.
Yeah. So, I mean, in practice, it's getting a bit busy, as you can see all the cars going around. However, for qualifying, it'll be okay, because in the settings we have in the server for qualifying is you do your laps all by yourself. So there's no chance you can get blocked by anyone. And here we go. We're heading into qualifying. Who do you want to follow first?
I think we go with Zikri first, see what kind of opportunity, what kind of pace he is setting. There is Mohammed Zikri, the championship leader. You look back at his season so far, he had a race win in round number 1, but he had a disastrous round number 2 at Silverstone. Recovered a little bit to get a P2 in race 2 last week in Portimao, so he hasn't had the most consistent of 3 rounds so far, whereas Yang Ming Chu has been consistent, and that is that can play into you a little bit. In some ways, it's a little bit unfair, the fact you can drop around, because it means you can have a dreadful round, whereas the consistent guys get penalised just a little bit.
That is true. That is true. However, we like it getting exciting into the last round. We want to see which drivers can perform best. And look at that. Zikri's gone purple in Sector 1. Okay, he's the first car on track, so pretty sure there'll be other cars maybe eclipsing that. But so far, pretty clean lap by the young Malaysian.
20.98 is the kind of target that he's set so far. It's into Sector 2 right now. You've got the long sweeping straights in the first a couple of corners, and then you head into this more technical part of the course, and it's all about getting a good line. You say if you get it wrong at the start, Alex, it can really impact the rest of the lap.
Yeah. And this Hockenheim sort of track is you over push, you can lose a lot of time. Because it looks so wide and open, you think you've got a lot to play with, but you don't, because you just small wiggle here, a little bit slow on the throttle as he's fast through Sector 2, and you lose all the time down the long straight. And that is not what you want, so you have to keep it nice and neat on this kind of track.
Mohammed Zikri still fastest at the moment. We're on board with him, although Danish Aram looks like he's put in a quick lap as well, even though Zikri is fastest through Sector 1 and Sector 2. Let's see what kind of a time he puts. Well, he's got pole at the moment, Mohammed Zikri, a 135.6, just ahead of Danish Aram, 100th. But look at that, Chuck Long Lee has put in a fast lap, and Dave Smart has come from nowhere. You've mentioned this a couple of times, Alex, that there could be wild cards coming in. Zikri pushed down to P3, Yang Ming Chu pushed to P4, Danish Aram to P5, so they need a quick lap.
That's right, and Chuck Long Lee from Z Challenger Racing, the Hong Kong-based team, has not restarted the lap like we saw Zikri do. So he's on a second lap, and it's working for him. Look at it. Sector 1, he's actually gone quicker. So not restarting the lap, I think, has worked out quite well for him. Assuming, of course, the tyres hang on for the next 2 sectors. And he looks super good through turn 6.
And you know what? He's in P4 in the championship. So he's got 46 points. He's not a million miles away. And if he's got this, we haven't spoken about Long Lee, but he has got a chance. If he gets fastest qualification, good start in the race, 25 points, you never know.
Absolutely. Like you said, he's not that far away. Definitely capable, especially when the field is this close. Whoa! Purple in Sector 2 again. 2 tenths.
2 tenths quicker.
Wow, that's 3 and a bit tenths now up on his fastest lap. So his competitors are going to have to find something special to try and topple the Hong Kong-based driver.
2:42 clear at the moment. 2:30 still to go. Long Lee, the Z Challenger, leading the way. What time is he going to get here? 1:35.5 is the current fastest time. He's nearly 3 tenths quicker. 1:35.3. Dave Smart in P2, 1 tenth down. Zikri 3 tenths down. And look at that. Yang Ming Chu has dropped out of the top 5, as is Danish Aram.
Okay, we are on board with the guys second in the championship. And Yang Ming, he's gone green in Sector 1, but he's still a 10th off Long Lee. Nazir Asman goes up to P2 as we talk, but let's just stick on board with Yang Ming right now. Oh, he's lost a massive time. That sideways moment through the Mercedes arena cost him 4 tenths, so he's out of it.
That could be 0 points then in qualification. Long Lee is leading the way. Nazir Asman has got himself a P2. There is Naz. He's just posted a 1:35.4. Long Lee, though, has got pole position at the moment. Zikri is out of the top 5. Zikri out of the points at the moment.
Wow.
No, he's just posted a quick time to come back into the top 5. As we are on board with Nazir Asman.
Wow.
P2 at the moment.
But I tell you, Yang Ming with that terrible mid-medal sector went to P4. I'm shocked about that. And he's decided to just chill.
Yeah, well.
Okay, well.
There's still a minute to go. So Longley, well, he's still
He's
fastest, a 1:35.3. Nazir Asman a 1:35.4. I'm wondering if anyone's going to be able to get the better from Chuck Longley. It will move him much, much closer. Raymond Aguilar.
Aguilar there. He's only 500ths off pole position time through Sector 1. He's coming to the end of Sector 2 now. Crosses the line. Whoa. He's up. It's very close. One more sector to go. This could be good enough for pole position.
That could have an impact on the overall championship standings. Because what I can tell you is that Chuck Longley at the moment moves within 7 points of Mohamed Zikri coming into it. Now we're still waiting. Yang Ming Chu picks up 2 points for P4 at the moment. Raymond Aguilar, Zikri out of the points in qualification, as is Danish Aram. Longley has the fastest time. Does he hold on to that fastest time? I think he did, you know.
He did. I think everyone's stopped right now. Those are the points. Nazir Asman in second. Dave Smart, good job there in P3. Yang Ming in P4. Aguilar in 5. Zikri, championship leader, out of the points in 6. Sharik Sukainan came from nowhere there to P7. Good lap by the young Malaysian. Noyes O from Japan in 8th. Aswan Anwar in 9th. And Danish Aram, P10.
He's missed out as well, hasn't he? Danish P3 in the overall championship standings. Well, I tell you what, he isn't anymore. He's down to P4.
Yeah.
So 1 minute before we get ready, as we are on board with Nazir Asman. Nazir put in a very good position to come in P2. He's not really in the championship standings. It moves him up to 30 points. Mathematically, it's still possible, but it'd need everyone else to crash out.
Yeah, I mean, Asman actually has been super quick this Global Edition. Now, he's found some extra pace. He's got involved in a couple too many accidents, and that's why he's not fighting for the championship. But it's great to see Nazir up there.
He has had a P6 and a P4 last time out, so he's in a decent vein of form. But Zikri missing out on the points. Championship standings coming into race number 1. It is Zikri on 58, Yang Ming Chu on 52, 51 points for Longley. As we wait for the red lights to go out, and then we will be underway. We are on board with Nazir Asman, P2 in the on the grid as we start. And we are underway. Longley fastest. There's a bit of contact behind him. Longley in the blue. Is he able to hold on? Oh, there's contact coming into the first corner. Yang Ming Chu has come from way down in P3. Yang Ming Chu was the race leader. Longley's just edged in front of him. But Yang Ming Chu and Longley, what a good battle that is. Ming Chu retakes the lead, but they are side by side. Well done, Yang Ming Chu. He needs the victory if he's looking for the title. Where's Zikri? Zikri is...
Whoa.
Where's Zikri?
No.
Down in P18.
No, championship leader down in P18. Disastrous first corners. Wow. Zikri again, not getting the rub of the green when he's in the middle of the pack.
Well, there is Zikri. He just needs to be patient. Danish Aram, slow down penalty, track limits abuse. But Yang Min Chu is the race leader, and if he holds on to this race lead, will be the new championship leader. Longley is currently in P2. This would elevate Longley very, very high in the standings as well, but there is a long way to go. 13.5 laps to go, but Yang Ming Chu got some real pace there as Aguilar tries to get in past Longley. So Longley has lost a bit of pace. He's maybe not on the pace that he was showing during qualification, Alex Young.
No, he's made a couple small mistakes that led Aguilar into P2, and now he's got Dave Smart all over the back of him right now. So Longley just needs to calm down and try and replicate the pace we saw him do in qualifying. It's
still not bad for him, though. This would elevate him into the top 2, but the worry for him is that Malaysia's Yang Ming Chu from the academy team, who's not had a race win this season. Yes, he did. He's had 2 second race wins, so that's why his usual expertise is. But he's not had a race 1 win, Yang Ming Chu, but it's looking pretty good for Yang at this stage.
Yeah. Nazir Asman has just had a moment. He was second on the grid, and he's dropped down now to P7. So he's also getting in the wars at the moment.
Longley P3, as we stick with Naz. Naz was second fastest in qualification. As you say, he's been quick throughout this season without really being able to put any points on the board as they come to this hairpin at the end of the longest straight. Sticking with Nazir, there's more contact. Nazir drops a place and Clint Olive goes up ahead of Naz, who's maybe not focused as he might be at the moment. He looks very cool, calm and calculating bottom right of your screen, but he's dropped down from P3 to P8.
Okay, so now Zikri there up to P14, so he's made some positions now. Zikri needs to try and get into the top 10, I feel, and he'll need to win the reverse grid race if he's going to have a chance of winning this championship, I feel.
It looks a little bit of tense there. The eyes are a little bit focused, looks a little bit pale, whether that's just a zoom camera or something, but that start will have certainly taken the blood out of his head as he's got another chance to move up here because Weiren went very, very wide. Or was it Yazid Razak, I think it was. Yazid had a problem. Zuhaili's had a problem. Zikri's up to P13.
Okay, got to go back to the front though. Look at that. Long Lee's now got past Aguilar and is now closing down on Yang Ming.
Yeah, he had a couple of iffy laps, did Long Lee, but it looks like he's got himself back into the groove. Dave Smart's having a good day at the office. Dave has not really picked up that many points. He had a P5 in race number 1 of the season. Hasn't been in the top 6 since then, as we are on the back here of Yang Ming Chu. And Hockenheim is the venue. This isn't one of the overtaking places, but Longley is getting close onto the back and possibly maybe looking to make a move as they come into this hairpin.
Ooh, he's looking down the inside. Yang Ming's braking super late though.
Wow.
Good exit though by Yang Ming out of turn 1. Very smart actually. He braked really late. Oh, but what happened there? Had a misshift or something. Something went wrong there. I think he had a misshift and Longley is up through the lead.
Chuck Longley is now the man in charge of 25 points. Again, there's still a long way to go, but we're a third of the way through the race. And Yang Ming Chu, having come from nowhere to get into the lead, has now dropped down into P2. Smart and Zulkernan. Danish Aram's got himself up into P6. Where is Zikri? Still P13 for Mohamed Zikri, the championship leader. So he's in a bit of trouble, is Mohamed Zikri. Yang Ming Chu dropped down into P3 now. What's happened with Yang Ming Chu?
This right on board right now. He's just lost pace coming out of corners. Like he's got a gearbox issue or something, but that shouldn't be happening in the game. Let's listen to the upshifts. Does he have a puncher? Is the wheel bent? No, the wheel looks straight.
Again, he runs very, very wide. Dave Smart, the man ahead of him. He's very focused on the back end of Dave Smart and maybe will try to dive on the inside. Just got to make sure he doesn't get contact. Yes, you want to get past Smart, but you don't want to get into contact because Zulkernan and Danish are right behind you.
That's
Zikri
right.
still in P13. You're in P3. At the moment, you're in control of the championship.
Yeah, okay, so he's through now on Smart.
Or is he? Well, yeah, he's got the inside track. Smart's got to just give away a little bit, but then Smart takes the inside line. Yang Ming Chu and Smart both get a good drive coming out of the hairpin. Smart just seems to have that little bit of extra power. Is this the success ballast working against Yang Ming Chu?
Yeah, but it shouldn't be that bad. It's just looks like he's having poor acceleration.
Another mistake there.
Yeah. The mistakes, we saw this happen in the previous round in race 1. He was actually leading the race, started having mistakes, I think got a bit of damage, and this went right back in the field. Okay, so he's got to settle down. I don't know, maybe, I actually think it might be a throttle issue. Maybe his throttle's not getting 100% all of a sudden.
And he needs to be careful because Danish Aram, he's got himself up into P4. So Danish is in the yellow car immediately behind the silver of Yang Ming Chu. And Danish is driving particularly well at the moment. In the overall standings, well, Danish missed out. So Danish is 5th in the overall championship standings. But with Zikri struggling, if Danish can get ahead of Yang Ming Chu and Long Lee can keep his lead, then this title is going right the way down to the line again.
Wow, it is going to go down to the line. We just have to pull, okay, old Yang, no, I can't pull away from this. Yang Ming coming under some pressure from Danish right now. Just holding off a P3. I wonder if he's having issues with the rig. He needs to try and make sure that's settled. Let's just go back down to Zikri, see where Zikri is right now.
P12.
He's there, P12.
But he's got an opportunity of getting ahead of one or two others. He's got himself ahead of Weiren. So he's now up into P11. He's got Yazid Razak ahead of him, and well, there is Yazid Razak. Zikri has a look on the outside as they come into this right-hander. Then if he leaves the braking late, avoid the contact, Zikri. You can't afford to go out. In fact, he's lost the place that he just won, because Weirden has come back on the inside of Mohamed Zikri, and Zikri drops back down to P12.
Yeah, Yazid Razak did a great job there, defending just right. Has to defend again here. They're going to have contact between the two cars if they're not careful. Zikri trying to follow him through, not happening. Yeah, Zikri doesn't need this. Zikri just needs to make sure he finishes his race. Whatever happens, he can't have incident points and not finish his race. Zikri needs to get past these two guys. That puts him in 9th. That at least gives him a fighting chance for the reverse grid race.
But at the moment, he's in a little battle. The best he can really look at here is a top 10 position. 10th place is worth 6 points. So that is useful. But having not scored in the qualification, it's a problem. We're on board with Abdul Yazid Razak, who isn't giving way to the championship leaders, because he's got points of his own that he wants to win. He's not had a podium finish. He's not had a top 6 finish. So he's looking for that himself. Here's Danish Aram. Dropped down behind Zulkernan. So there's a good little battle. And Aguilar, who was in P2 at one stage, down in P6. But that's a 4-way scrap for P3 with Ming Chu leading the way at the moment.
Oh, Danish Aram got a slowdown penalty for track limits, so he'll have to lift. And he'll be watching his rear wing, because just behind him, Aguilar, you just talked about him, looking to try and get by. He's going to try and come down the inside for sure as they break for the hairpin.
Hockenheim, the venue. Long lead from Smart, from Ming Chu, from Zulkernan, from Danish, who holds off the challenge from Aguilar. Danish Aram in the yellow, in P5, yellow car number 8. Well, 5th position for him. What are they down though? Long Lee's got himself a nice lead up at the front. Dave Smart nearly 2 seconds down, and this little group of 4 cars a further second down on Dave Smart. Well done to Dave Smart, by the way.
Yeah, he's carrying some damage as well, though. As you come through these shots, you can see Long Lee in the blue car. Dave Smart there, just going through the picture, is crabbing a bit. And then this battle for 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th position is just heating up at the moment. Danish Aram, he's getting very impatient. He needs to try and overtake Zulkernan. He needs to get in front of Yang Ming if he's got any chance of winning this championship.
Just mentioning off screen, Zikri's got himself up into P11, which is 5 points. 5 points for Zikri at the moment. That'd take him on to 63, but that would not be enough for him to hold on to the championship lead, because Long Lee was on 51. 25 points here, take him on to 66.
Ooh, Zulkernan again getting a good run on Yang Ming Chu. Just getting better exits. Yang Ming's just not consistent. For some reason down the straights, he loses pace sometimes. I think he's having a throttle issue on his rig. Because we watched him earlier on, the gear changes looked fine, but something's costing him time down the straights, and it's not just success ballast. As he defends into turn 6, Zulkernan trying to go around the outside. Ooh, doesn't quite make it, try on the switchback, but Yang Ming holds on for now.
Behind them, Aguilar's having a little pop as well at Danish Aram. So that's the battle for P4. Sharik Zulkernan roll over the back of Yang Ming Chu. Yang Ming Chu holds on, defends, holds on to that line. Again, Yang Ming Chu is in charge of this championship at the moment. So 16 points here would be very, very useful.
Yeah.
But inside the final 4 minutes, that's fizzed away. When the racing gets pretty intense, it gets pretty good, doesn't it? Where's Zikri? Zikri's got himself up into P10, which is 6 points. That would give him 64 points. Yang Ming Chu, 68 points. So Danish Aram has dropped down to P6, which is just 10 points. That'll move him on to 53. Long Lee leading the way would get 25 points, and that excludes the bonus points. Long Lee would move up to 76 points. 12 points clear of Mohamed Zikri if this race was to finish as it is at the moment.
Wow. And of course, we've got the reverse grid race coming back up after this. Top 15 will be reversed. Whew, anything can happen.
Long Lee, though, he's the man in control. Ming Chu would like to maybe just hold on to P3. I'm sure he'd love to get into P2, but at the moment holding on to P3 is what he's got to do, because Zulkarnain again is all over his back end. Zulkarnain wobbling around as they come into this hairpin once again. Zulkarnain down the inside. The switch back from Yang Mingqiu. Zulkarnain left his braking too late. That's cool from Yang. That's cool.
Very cool. Went to the outside. Zulkarnain couldn't make the move. Stick brake too late, and Yang Ming took him back, and he's actually got a bit of breathing space now. But it's not enough. Yang Ming's pace has just disappeared in this race. And what's it, 2 more laps to go?
2 more laps to go, yeah.
Maybe 3?
2:32 left. What are we? Yeah, wouldn't be 3, would it? Because their lap times are 1:37.
Yeah, 2 more.
Yang Mingqiu, he'll be happy it's only 2 laps because he's under such pressure. Aguilar's got himself up into P5 ahead of Danish. So Danish will only pick up 10 points.
Who's got fastest lap of the race? That's the other big question. At the moment, it's Long Li.
So Long Li, this is looking really good for the Hong Kong racer. So 25 points plus the fastest lap, it'll give him 78 points. That'll give him a 10-point cushion over Yang Mingqiu going into the final race of the season. And we weren't even talking about Chuck Long Li before the race.
Wow, it's really happened for Yang Ming, though. That scrap just now, we just saw that. Zulkarnain now scrapping, and it's given a big gap to Yang Ming, because I think Yang Ming didn't have the pace. He would have probably finished 5th, even though there's 2 more laps to go. But he's now got the breathing space, and 3rd at least allows him to try and do something special in the reverse grid race.
Certainly does. Certainly does. Sharik Zulkarnain. We're on board with Sharik at the moment, yeah. So he's leading that race. Yeah, how did he suddenly pull that gap clear? So Aguilar is looking to get through on Zulkarnain, who's made a mistake or 2. And Danish Aram, who dropped down to P6, he's looking there as well.
Yeah.
So Sharik Zulkarnain. Well, that was remarkable what Yang Mingqiu was able to do very quickly.
I think he got very fortunate. These guys are scrapping behind him. We have to go back to Zikri as well. He's still trying to get past Yazid Razak. Not able to quite do it just yet.
Just 3/10 down on him though. 54 seconds left in the race, so they'll finish this lap, and then we will go on to the final lap. Mohammed Zikri currently in P10, 6 points. Can he get a fastest lap? Probably too late to do that. Can he get past Abdul Razak? That would be useful to move him a little bit closer. But at the moment, the championship leader will drop down to P3. And the title that was his to lose could well be being lost.
Back in the fight for 4th position right now. Aguilar
in
is
P4.
4th. Zulkarnain there in P5, all over the back of him. Really, these guys have really done Yang Ming a favor right now. But Yang Ming needs to fix whatever's going wrong with him right now, because he has no pace in this race if he wants to try and win the championship. At the front, though, this is going to be our new championship leader.
By a long way. By a long way, Chuck Long Li.
He's done the business today, you have to say. He took pole position. He was 4th in the championship coming into this final round. Took pole position. Winning race 1. Got fastest lap as well. And wow, showing a clean pair of heels to everyone else.
Really capitalizing. He didn't actually compete in round number 1 of the season at Sepang. He did okay. He got a P2 and a fastest lap at Silverstone. He got a P5 at Portimao. And here, it looked like he's going to be fastest in qualifying. He's been always fastest in qualifying. Now he's just got a victory lap home. He's had 2 fastest laps and a P2 in qualification. So he's genuinely quick, Chuck Long Li. And I suspect a promotion up into the Silver Championship for next season.
Yeah, I think so. This has been a super impressive drive by the Z Challenger Racing driver. Definitely deserves to be in Silver. Definitely will get promoted to Silver.
Chuck Long Li leads the way, a full 2.8 seconds clear. And this is our new championship leader, Dave Smart. A very good P2 for Dave Smart, and 20 points for him. Behind them, Yang Mingqiu is able to hold on to P3. Aguilar is the man who takes 4 ahead of Zulkarnain, or does he? The answer is yes. Aguilar ahead of Zulkarnain. Kelvin Pau, 6, and Danish Aram. That is a nightmare for Danish. He's not had a good day at the office. He's stuck on 52 points. So our championship leader by quite some way, Alex Young, is going to be Chuck Long Li, 78 points, 10 points clear of Yang Mingqiu.
Wow. Fantastic drive by the Hong Kong driver. Okay, so 10 points is quite handy. However, we've seen how competitive this field is. It's a big field as well. So he's going to start P15 in race 2. He is leading the championship, but he's got to stay out of the wars somehow. He's got to survive and try and get up to maybe P5, P6 to try and make sure he takes his championship.
And Zikri, what's Zikri got to do? Zikri is 14 points adrift. So Zikri's got to win.
He's got to win and hope that Chuck Long Lee has a bad race. He's got to win. He's got to take fastest lap as well.
Yeah. So Mohammed Zikri, all our focus was on him before because we know what a good racer he is. But look at that. Chuck Long Lee is the man who's come in. Not the fastest lap, though. That might be interesting. Aguilar took the fastest lap. So that might just take the gloss off things a little bit. So the lead isn't the 10 points we thought. It's 8 points. That makes a difference.
Wow. I wonder how costly that will be. He was only, less than a tenth. Well, less than 100 for fastest lap or so. So that's going to be hard for him.
Well, we had a fabulous finale to the Copper Edition Championship. Looks like we're going to have a close one here as well, where a rank outsider, somebody who didn't even race in round 1 of the championship at Sepang, is our new championship leader. And he goes by the name of Long Lee.
Okay. So, all right, we're going to go into race 2 now. Give us a minute or so, and then you see the drivers line up onto the grid. So, let's see. Long Lee, I think he needs to try and just make sure he's in the top 5, right? From 15.
Yes.
Which is possible.
Yeah.
Zikri has to win, has to take fastest lap to have any chance. Yang Ming, though, he's 8 points off the lead. I think he has to win as well.
Yes, anyone on the top, it's Long Lee's now to lose. But
Yeah.
we've seen that the pressure can do funny old things to you. As we've got 30 seconds to go. Top 15 reverse grid. I do love this reverse grid that you've introduced for eRGP. It does open up endless possibilities, and it can really scupper good races as well.
I know the drivers sometimes hate it, but here we go.
Chris Chu is the man on pole position. Chuck Long Lee, let's stick with Chuck Long Lee in P15 for the start of this race. The red lights are off. We are underway. We are on board with Chuck Long Lee. Stay out of trouble will be objective number 1. He's lost a place. He'll be okay with that, though. Dave Smart's gone ahead of him. All right, Chuck Long Lee, he's safely through corner number 1. Staying out of the traffic, 15 minutes. He knows he's got the pace to get the better of the others. Chris Chu and Adam Kondralochis are leading the way at the moment to highly in P3. Mohammed Zikri goes ahead of Jack McGregor. So McGregor and Zikri are in 4 and 5. Zikri, as you said, has got to effectively win this race. Yang Ming Chu has got himself up into P9.
Wow, Zikri there. Look, he's got a good slipstream. That's great. That's perfect for Zikri because we've seen him get into a lot of accidents lately when he starts in the middle of the pack. So to get through that, he has a moment though.
Has a moment.
Overcorrected. So Zikri still a bit shaky whenever he's in the mid pack. So he needs to try and find to make, but a good safe first lap.
Okay, let's go on board with Long Lee again just to see if he's staying out of trouble. The answer is yes. Now, we said stay out of trouble, but that doesn't mean come last.
Yeah.
Because that could cost you the title.
He's had a super conservative first lap. He's not even trying to mix it. I think he's just letting everything shake up ahead of him, and then he's going to try and pick him off. Could be a good strategy.
It could be disastrous.
Yeah. Could also cost him the championship.
Wow. Very interesting. Well, he's got himself up a place there, so he's up into P16.
He's got overtaken. He's P17 now. Oh, but look, this is what he's waiting for.
There's a lot of traffic there, and the possibility of contact. He was nearly caught there because surrounding him, he's just gone round the outside of 2 racers. Long Lee, Jack McGregor, I think it was, who was tagged. Nazir Asman's dropped, Weiren's dropped down as well. So Long Lee moves into P15. Back up to the front, can I tell you that Mohammed Zikri has got himself into P2.
Wow.
So you said he has to win. Well, we know he has to win. He knows he has to win.
He has to set fastest lap as well. Win and fastest lap to have any sort of chance. He's up to P2. Yang Ming is also up to P5. Yang Ming also needs to win those. So, but Zikri looking calm and collected after the disaster of race 1.
We're on board with Yang Ming Chu. That was Mohammed Zikri, bottom right of your screen. Yang Ming Chu from the academy. Under pressure from Jack McGregor and Kelvin Powell. We will keep an eye on Long Lee. Long Lee is still down in P16. Chris Chu leading the way. Yang Ming Chu looking to try to just get himself up into a top 4 position. These first couple of laps, make sure that you stay out of problems, get yourself into a situation where you're able to attack the front. Yang Ming Chu now moves up into P4. He's just taken Jaden Ung. So the Academy racer is ahead of the pack. Up at the front, Mohamed Zikri is about to make a move on Chris Chu, and the new race leader is Mohamed Zikri.
Nicely done. So, okay, he's got the first part of this race done, which is exactly what he needed to do. He's now up in the lead. Now he needs to get that fastest lap. So he has to settle down, keep the car nice and clean, and try and reel off some quicker laps to try and get fastest lap.
There is Mohamed Zikri leading the way as they go down into the right-hander. He looks like he's got good pace there as well, Mohamed Zikri. Currently holding P1, Chris Chu in P2, and look at that, they've got a 2-second lead over Kondrolochis. Yang Ming Chu is pulling up into P3, which will make life interesting, because Long Li is still down in P15, you know. Long Li is still a long, long way away from getting into the positions that he needs. Yeah. Remember, 15 points for the win, 12 for second, 10 for third, and then 8, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Only the top 10 score points.
He's been way too conservative, in my opinion. I'm shocked he's not, you know, he's been super conservative. Oh, okay, that's what he's waiting for. He's like, thank you very much.
Oh, and he's just been tagged.
Oh.
So he's lost places. Oh, and he couldn't make his way through the traffic. In the overall scheme of things there, he's made up a place, but still out of the points. And that clock is now starting to tick. 1/3 of this race has now gone, Alex Young.
Oh, he's so careful. Okay, he needs to be more aggressive. I mean, I understand being careful and letting it all unfold ahead of you, but he's not placing himself in a position to receive luck. He's placing himself in a position that people are going to dive bomb him. So he's inviting these dive bombing. Look, he's allowing someone to just drive around the outside of him. So Long Li just not putting it together right now in this reverse grid race.
Long Li just taken there by Clint Olive. He's got Olive ahead of him. He's got Jaden Ung as well, who's dropped down the rankings quite a bit. And look at that, Viren goes on the inside, and Chiat Long Li, having been so impressive in qualification and taking the win in race number 1, suddenly finds himself in traffic. Maybe he just needs that open road, and he's focused on the mirrors all around him and worried too much about what's going on around him for him to put in quick laps.
Okay, so Zikri does not done the fastest lap. He's just got invalid laps. So he's doing invalid laps right now. He needs to settle down and get a lap down. He is winning the race at the moment. How does it work out in championships if Yang Ming Chu finishes third?
So if Yang Ming Chu finishes first, let's just work this. That would be 10 points.
Yeah.
Yang Ming Chu would move on to 78 points. Mohamed Zikri, so you're assuming a Zikri victory, Mohamed Zikri would be on 79 points. So it then comes down to fastest lap.
Because Yang Ming's not showing the pace for me. He's struggling again like he was in race 1. The pace is not good enough. And he's not, I mean, okay, Chris Chu in second position is definitely catchable. But look at that, Yang Ming does not look comfortable at all. This is not the Yang Ming we know. So I have some doubts whether he can get into the top 2 at the moment.
Long Li is up to P13. Long Li needs to get up into the top 6 by my reckoning if Zikri takes the win. As Kelvin Pao moves a little bit closer as well. Kelvin Cow could be a spoiler. He can't win the championship, but he'll be looking for a top 5 finish in the season, the Academy racer. But Zikri leads. Chris Chu is second. Third is Yang Ming Chu. Fourth is Kelvin Pao.
So Dave Smart needs 5 points. Sorry, not Dave Smart. Long Li
needs 5 points, yes.
So 5 points is...
5 points is 6th place.
Wow, he's far away from 6th place. Very far away from 6th place, isn't he? There is Long Li right now. P13 still.
No, he needs 4 points. 4 points, Long Li. At the moment, depending on fastest lap. But 4 points, he's not going to get 4 points for P13. And that clock, Alex Young, we're approaching halfway.
Yeah.
We're approaching halfway in this race. And he's 13. He's got Danish Aram ahead of him. But he's more than a second down on Dave Smart, who's in P8.
The car looks okay. The car looks fine. So there's nothing wrong with the car. But he's just not producing. He's just... we know the lap times there. We know how quick he is. He actually has fastest lap of the race. 36.9. No, he doesn't. That belongs to Adam Kondrolochis at the moment. No, he doesn't actually. Sorry, sorry. Let me He does have fastest lap race, 36.9. He has got fastest
Who
lap race.
has?
Long Li.
Long Li. Okay, that might be enough. That puts him level on points with Yang Ming-Chu.
But then he goes and makes another mistake. He's lost 2 positions again.
He needs points. He needs points, does Long Li.
He does not look comfortable racing with others in the mid-pack at all.
Well, what an opportunity for Mohamed Zikri. At the moment, Zikri is leading the championship and leading the race.
Okay, but he does not have a fast... Oh, my gosh. He just does a fastest lap.
A 1:36.3. So that gives him a little bit of leeway. Dave Smart did have the previous fastest lap. Let's add that into the reckoning for Mohamed Zikri. And that would move him on to 17 points for the race win, 81 points. That will be a 3-point advantage, and that just puts real pressure on Chuck Long Li, who is... Where is Long Li? 14th still. Can't get it. This is going to be Zikri pulling this one out of the fire.
But we can't discount Yang Ming. He's closing the gap to Chris Chu. If he gets second, how does that work out for him?
Not brilliantly for him. It'd move him on to 12 points, which would still be a point adrift of Zikri. Because Zikri's got the fastest lap. Yang Ming-Chu moves up into P2. Chris Chu moves obligingly if you're Yang Ming-Chu, unobligingly if you're Mohamed Zikri out the way, and then accelerates into the corner and tries to battle for this, but Yang Ming-Chu is in P2. So this could go down to the fastest lap in this final race of the season.
Okay, so the guys first and second in this race are first and second in the championship. Whoever does fastest lap in this race will win this championship.
And at the moment, that is Mohamed Zikri, a 1:36.3.
Wow, this is the man that is currently leading the championship. He has got fastest lap, 36.3. He's coming through the last corner now. Let's see if he can improve on that.
And it's a healthy lead. He's got a huge lead, 7 seconds. So
36.0.
36.0, gosh.
That is a good last lap. Wow, that's going to take some beating. Let's see what Yang Ming can do as he goes across the start-finish line. 38.1. Okay, he was overtaking someone. But right now, Yang Ming's fastest lap is a whole second off Zikri's.
But look at the differential between P1 and P2. We're on board with Yang Ming-Chu. He's 7 seconds down. So this race win is going to belong to Mohamed Zikri. How about Long Li? Where is Long Li? He's got ahead of Adam Kondrolochis.
P12 though.
Gosh, dear.
Gosh, it's like I'm watching a different driver. He looks so assured. Okay, we saw him in race 1, how careful he was in the first couple laps. We saw that again. But he then had some good overtakes, great pace, won race 1. But he hasn't been able to show that form to overtake here in race 2.
He does know the scoring system, doesn't he? He doesn't think 12th is 3 points or 4 points and good enough.
I hope he does. Because that would be such a shame to lose the championship that way just by not knowing the
miscalculating.
regs. Yeah.
Well, he's trying at the moment to get the better of Weiren. Oh, to be fair, Weiren's had a really, really good race. I've enjoyed his work. And he's not backing off Weiren, but Chuck Long Li might have to take some real risks. He's gone wide there. Off the camber.
Okay. Well, at the moment, I haven't actually seen him do any overtakes. All his moves up the grid, up the field, have been from people going off. Someone else has just gone off.
Somebody else has gone off in spectacular fashion there, so that might move him up to P11. Actually,
10.
make that P10.
Ooh.
So now he's in the points.
Wow.
Now what lap times is he doing?
He's not quick enough. 36.9. He's 9/10 off fastest lap.
But he's only 4 points off the lead. So Zikri will win the race and get fastest lap, it looks like.
There's Zikri. Here's Yang Ming-Chu in second.
Yang Ming-Chu second place. As the championship standings are, Zikri, the race leader, has 81 points. Yang Ming-Chu has 80 points in P2. 77 points for Chuck Long Li, who is down in P10. But he's got Weiren ahead of him. Is he able in this last 3 minutes or so just to pull up? What does he need? He needs 5 points. He needs to pull up 4 places. That's not going to happen for Long Li.
Oh, there he goes down, passes someone, but then he
lose it again.
That's what I'm saying. He's very clumsy with the overtaking. Okay, so Long Li has to work on his racecraft, I think, after this season is over, because he's got the pace. He's got fantastic pace. Just a little bit clumsy with the overtaking so far.
Well, let's forget about him just for now, because this is our potential champion. He was the potential champion at the start of the day. He wasn't the potential champion at the end of race 1. Now he's the potential champion by a single point. Unless he runs out of petrol or does something silly in this last... what's he got? We've got 2:02 to go. These last 2 laps.
2 more laps to go. Will Zikri take the championship? So much can happen in eRGP, though. We could see 4 cars suddenly take each other out and allow Longley the points to suddenly win the championship. But how it's ebbed and flowed today. Zikri was down and out of it in race 1 when he went right to the back of the grid on lap 1. Managed to recover to P10. We didn't think that was enough, but he's done the business in race 2. Race 1 and fastest lap. His fellow championship rival, Yang Ming Chu, there he is in P2, but 2 points off.
Kelvin Powell's got himself up into a respectable P3. Kelvin Powell always does well. Dave Smart's had a good day at the office as well. Danish Aram, again, not quite able just to put in the performances that he needs. Longley needs to get up into P6, which isn't going to happen. A P7 is a possibility, so Danish Aram's just received a slow down penalty. Kelvin Powell in P3.
Wow, and he's closing on Yang Ming again, having that straight line issue. Got no speed on the straight. Oh, wow, that was interesting. He just had no speed on the straight. And Kelvin Powell's now all over him.
Well, Kelvin picked up 10 points in race 1. It'll move on to 63 points, which is probably good enough for 4th in the overall championship standings for Kelvin. Zikri still leading the way. 34 seconds of the race to go. Dave Smart closing in as well on... This is the battle for P3, isn't it? Yeah, that's Dave Smart there. Sorry, for P2. So Ming Chu, he's lost 3 seconds to Zikri. So he's just clinging on for P2, clinging on for dear life.
I just have to go between this battle for 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Because if these drivers take each other out somehow, we got Longley there, the blue car, in P10. So Longley, his one more lap to go. He needs these cars to have some sort of accident to give him the points to clinch his championship.
And of course, we couldn't condone such things, but we're here for the entertainment. Back into P2, Ming Chu. Desperately holding off Kelvin Powell. Kelvin Powell, though, this could well really decide the championship if Kelvin moves on the inside, and it looks like he's got the pace to get past Ming Chu. Ming Chu has to try to defend, but Kelvin Powell has got the inside line. Who can leave the braking latest? Oh, Ming Chu is just bodged off, and Dave Smart comes through as well. Oh, Ming Chu just held up, but Dave Smart now pinches P2. Ming Chu's title chances have just evaporated.
Yeah, it's got nowhere there. He's got a hardware issue for sure, because he's slowed down the straights. That's it. Oh, Kelvin Powell spins.
So Kelvin Powell is out. Dave Smart looking for a P2. Smart work, Smart.
We have to go to this guy. Wow, what can we say about him?
Nothing but good things.
He's going to win race 2, and he's going to be our championship winner here in Bronze Cross as he crosses the line. Mohammed Zikri, look at that, the win and the fastest lap.
Puff of the cheek saying, whoa, okay, is that enough? His arithmetic will be saying, where is Yang Ming Chu? And the answer is Yang Ming Chu has got back to P2 because Dave Smart has done something silly. Dave Smart has crashed out. A real battle at the back. Longley has got himself up into P9. That battle for P6 did see drivers take each other out, but Longley finishes in P9, which is 2 points, which means that he is level on points with Yang Ming Chu at the end of the season. 3 points down on Mohammed Zikri. Our new champion, unofficially, because there could be protests, although I doubt it, but our new champion of the Copper Edition is Mohammed Zikri from Malaysia.
Zikri, can you hear us?
What?
Yes, we think you're our champion right now.
Wait, what?
You have fastest lap and the race win from race 2. You are 2 points ahead of Yang Ming Chu, and Longley only finished 9th, and he's tied on points with Yang Ming.
No. I'm quite shocked. I was expecting bad news, but I'm not being excited now because I don't know if there's protests or anything coming right up, but yeah.
Very sensible to wait for the protest. But
Yeah.
we think the mathematics are on your side, Zikri. And having not performed in race number 1, what was your attitude going into race number 2?
I thought I lost it. I basically thought I lost it. So I said, you know what, just finish off with the bang because I don't think it was my time to be champion. So I just, you know what, race 2, just go for the win. Just make a statement, say you had the pace and everything. I had the pace and everything. But yeah, but okay, I didn't know I was still able to win the championship. I thought I lost it already.
Well, by our unofficial reckoning, 81 points, 3 points clear of Chuck Longley, who picked up 2 points, 3 points clear of Yang Ming Chu, who picked up 10 points for P3. Unofficially.
Well, no, Yang Ming Chu finished second.
Yang Ming Chu finished second, still, so it's only a 1 point win then. You've won the title by a single point.
Oh my God.
The fastest lap, mate. So congratulations. Yeah, so I think you drive better when you don't think about the championship, eh? Because that was a much better drive compared to race 1.
Again, it needs confirmation. We've got this wrong in the past, I've got this wrong in the past, so we will check our maths. But my understanding is that you did just enough in race number 2 by leading from the front. Longley was really conservative. He was P14, P15, P16 for a long time. Only picked up 2 points for P9.
Wow.
I'll check the Instagram post at the end. Make sure.
Congratulations, man. Well done.
Thank you so much.
Well, what a way to end the season, Alex Young. A single point in it.
Wow.
Subject to confirmation. It was massively tight in copper. It's massively tight in the bronze edition. But Mohammed Zikri looks like he's got it. I'm loving his reactions. I'm loving those reactions.
They're going to be great stickers. We're going to use these as stickers later on.
Yeah, that's what you want. When people say it's not real racing, you look at the reactions of these drivers, Alex, and it is. The heart is beating.
Yeah.
It really matters to these fellas.
Okay, yeah, absolutely. Oof, how exciting. Okay, copper and bronze did not disappoint at all. We got silver and gold coming after this. So stay with us. We'll be back in just a moment.